God has spoken, a very special edition, the Merge Extravaganza, where we break down everyone's chances, get it horribly wrong, but feel great about ourselves because we are, we can predict it all and get it right. But, Survivor is always changing. They always throw in some different twists, and people play emotionally instead of logically. And so it's hard to predict. With me, my forever co-host. He'll even meet 2 times a week. He doesn't care. He puts everything aside, no matter what. Riley McAtee. Riley, how are you?
I'm great. I had breakfast this morning, so I'm ready to go.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was really worried about you last time because it's like, you had gone, 4 or 5 hours without food?
It was tough. It's tough.
Insane.
I sprinted to where the pizza was after that. And luckily, they had ordered just an excessive amount of pizza. I thought it was going to all be gone, but there was actually plenty. So it worked out.
There's 2 directions to go when ordering pizza because you're never going to get it exactly right. It's like, I don't want any leftovers, so let's go small. And once it's gone, it's gone.
No. You always want leftovers.
Or you over-order. No, you don't always want. It depends. If you're a corporation and you're ordering like garbage pizza, you don't want leftovers.
This is good stuff. Okay?
It was good pizza.
Yeah, we're part of Spotify. We're not like independent anymore.
Okay.
I thought it was good. Ashley's shaking her head. Okay,
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
No offense to Spotify.
Well, if I'm going to take a co-host or a producer's opinion, I'm going to go producer every time.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. What was the name of the pizza? Little Caesars?
I don't know if we should say.
I don't know.
We ripped it.
I don't remember the name of the pizza, but I didn't like it.
It was like some kind of local LA place. It wasn't like a big chain.
Oh, Ashleigh's dead.
Lost her.
We lost Ashleigh.
Can you believe this?
Do you think the pizza people are watching?
Yes, I think that's a conspiracy.
The pizza people are watching.
That was wild. I'm so sorry. It was so delicious.
Came down so hard.
I apologize.
Ashley's like blinking. Just something
pizza people.
She's looking off camera.
We're here with Ashleigh Smith, who took a much-deserved vacation earlier this season, but is back with us. And, one of our rocks, one of our 2 rocks, I know that I can always rely on Riley. But if Riley, for some reason, just decides to flake out, I don't know, for whatever reason. Well,
some other larger priority / life event comes up, perhaps.
I mean, it's all relative and dependent on the person. But
this is your number 1 priority, obviously.
Yes, for sure. And I know that it's Ashleigh's number 1. She'll be here.
It is.
So we'll just see. I mean, we'll see who makes it all the way to the end. We're going to go through person by person of all the people left in the merge and discuss their chances of making a deep run or making it to the end or winning the game. And we are going to go in tribal lines because for some reason in the post era of Survivor or the post new era, the tribal lines always kind of still seem to matter after the merge. And the regular thing we've seen happen is the smallest group ends up fracturing the larger groups and then having a really good run out. Lots of times the winner has come from the smallest group going into the merge. And our smallest group now is Lavo after losing Rome at the mergatory or pre-merge merge where, not everybody got their buff yet. We have left with Lavo going into the merge. We have Teeny, we have Genevieve, and we have Saul. Let's go to Saul first.
Yeah.
Riley, you like Saul's chances making it deep into this game, and why?
I do like his chances of going deep. I think that, first off, with Rome out of the game, he's kind of got his foil out. And I think that now he can open up and sort of play a more fluid game and not have to be so like, there's this one guy that I can't play with and hates me and whatnot. But I also like the way that he navigated the Rome thing too. He was pretty calm and collected about it, I thought.
Yeah.
And I think that will help him later. He's got, he's 42. He's got a 45-year-old in Sue, and they've just connected immediately.
Yeah.
So that's helpful. And I just like the guy. So I think that helps as well.
Yeah. I'm looking at this Lavo group as I named their names, and I think they're all good for a little while.
I actually think that, they're all well positioned.
They're all well positioned. I was going to go through one by one, and then I was like, but it's like identical. Like Genevieve is sitting pretty good there. She got the advantage last time, but she was nonchalant, didn't end up winning the challenge anyways. Saul, very even keel, and Teeny winning people over with their charm. So now you have these three who are all not really threatening, and we've seen them start bonding with the other groups. And so what sticks out particularly with Genevieve?
I probably like Genevieve a little bit more than Teeny. I like both of them. I think all three of the Lavos are well positioned. But I think that Genevieve has shown a little bit more ability to make a move when she wants to. She can lay back, but we've seen her have a little more agency over the game, whereas Teeny, I think, has been just kind of like flowing with where the game goes. And it has been left out of a vote before as well. Yeah. And so I feel like, Teeny has already shown that she can kind of get outside of what is happening. And I want to see her like take a little bit more control and like influence the game a little bit. Obviously, you don't want to do too much and put a target on you, but at least to like show that ability. And right now it just feels like Teeny is kind of like responding to other players as opposed to doing her own game.
Yeah. They, for example, the whole Rome thing early on where Teeny was like, I just have to do it right now. Like I can't do anything else, but they could have, they didn't. Yeah. And so it's like, Teeny has to take charge at some point or dictate some direction somewhere or be pivotal in jumping to a different side at a certain moment and make a decision, something like that. Genevieve is already showing that type of initiative when she, flopped everything on Keyshawn and did that. So I think Genevieve, if she can stay that style where she makes a move when she needs to, is Rome leaving good for Genevieve?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's like bad for her.
Yeah,
I think it could be bad for her. I don't think it's bad for her, but I think she could have a little more safety for a little bit longer if Rome's there, just like being.
He might have been a bit of a shield for her. You think?
Yeah,
I do see that.
But she's not really coming to the forefront as like, now I'm the person. So I think they're all going to be okay for the next couple weeks at least. And it's just like what's going to happen is Tuku, the largest group, is going to go to Gata, the second largest group, and say like, let's just do 3 easy votes of Lavo. And everyone's going to be like, yeah, that sounds great. And then Gata and Tuku will both become suspicious of each other actually working with Lavo instead of them. So they'll all scramble to Lavo trying to get them on their side. And then that's like
that's the perfect that's the perfect situation to be in for them.
That's what's going to happen. So let's go to Gata then, the second largest group right now. We have Andy, Rachel, Sam, and Sierra.
So we got a little bit of this in the preview for next week where Andy was like,
he's on
I got to get it again.
I got to get the Gatas out. And it was like, it was a night scene that they showed in the preview. And I couldn't tell exactly who he was talking to, but I think that it was Saul.
Yeah, it could be. Saul has built some pretty good relationships across the board early on. And do you like this for Andy?
I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen because like we know how Andy was in the very beginning where he just couldn't really filter anything that was going on. And I wonder, I almost feel like he was just faking it to be honest. Like, I know that
You do? You think that was all a play?
I feel like
or over-exaggerated?
I feel like he's over-exaggerating a little bit with how he is, because he can't be this bad at challenges and then like have no filter at the beginning. I think he's doing this to kind of make people think like he's not much of a player, and then he's going to just kind of, but that's like one side. And then I don't know, or he really is genuinely not this good at the game, and then he's kind of going to mess it up at the end. But I have faith that he's like secretly a mastermind at this game, and then at the very end he's like, psych guys, I'm really good at this, and surprise everybody. That's my hope for Andy.
I mean, I don't. I think, sure. I think he could be exaggerating his whatever things happened early on, but not. It wasn't because of he wasn't playing the game. He was just like exaggerating them for sympathies or for whatever reason. Because going after your number one openly, and then,
that was pretty wild. That was a wild
that's
choice
for him. Like that early in the game, you don't want your number one gone unless you're desperate.
That's why I was like, he has to be exaggerating, because that was such a wild thing for him to do. I've never seen that happen, and I just, he has to be, right? Like, right?
Yeah.
It might just be. I think that
spiral.
Spiral.
Yeah. I think that he just like he lacks a little bit of impulse control, and that then Survivor
or a lot of
impulse control. But then that Survivor like heightens that. You know, it just like 10x's any of your natural impulses, I guess, and his is to not control those impulses.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, you know, clearly like the meltdown at the beginning, but then also even more recently where he was just like, yo, blindsiding Annika was like the best. It's like, dude, you might want to just play it a little bit more.
He was cheesing a little too hard immediately when it happened.
He was so excited.
And so I think now it's like you're at the merge, you got the buff. Oh, this is when the real game begins. Like now we're in Canon Survivor. And I think that he might just be feeling himself a little too much and play a little too hard. And I don't know that I love this move of like going after the Gatas.
Yeah.
You
think we'll see how it plays out, but or and why he's doing that. There may be tons of context that we're missing. Like, wow, the preview for next week being misleading. Like, who could have seen that? But you know, if he's just going after them because he wants to make a move or something, which I could see, I don't like that.
Yeah, I think he's either going to get caught out and gonna be one of the early merge votes here eventually, maybe not next week, but you know, within the coming weeks, or if he successfully jumps ship and goes somewhere else, then maybe they get rid of one or two Gatas and then him. Like that's like I think even if you do that and you jump ship and go to the other side, it almost never works out in a win for you. And so, I think he's going to have an uphill battle. Let's go to Sam and Sierra. They gonna stay in the game together as a duo?
No way.
No? What needs to happen? What's going to happen?
I'm gonna put like a fun storyline out, and I'm gonna say they're gonna have like a lover's quarrel.
Yes.
And they're gonna like have to like battle with like two sides of like a bunch of people. It's gonna be very fun and backstabby, and it's gonna be great. That's what I would love to see. But I feel like one of them, probably Sam, is probably gonna probably just turn on Sierra, honestly. They don't seem like they're, from what they've shown us, at least, they don't seem that close. Like they seem like
they seem close, but not aligned games.
Yeah, they'll be great friends outside the game, but I feel like on the game they don't seem like they're kind of focused on the same thing. So it's just a matter of time before they have like a bit of a quarrel.
It's so unclear to me why they feel like they have to be this duo and together when they seem to not have like a great deal in common, and then their games feel pretty separate, and one of them has to realize that I'm actually better off without the other, and they might both realize it at the same time.
That'd be great if they do.
Sierra got rid of Annika, even though Annika was probably better for her game than Andy. And so like you have to wonder, like, is Sierra going to come back to Sam and be like, now it's my turn we have to go my way now because we went your way last time. And then is that going to be the rift, or like they could navigate together, and maybe because Annika's gone and maybe Sierra has nowhere but Sam, and now they have to work together and their games are going to align because of that. And that's honestly, I could see that happening. I think that those two running the game together is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe for a little while here, but I mean, it's going to be like D on her winning season where, she has a number one or a couple number ones and then chops one of them and the other one's like, hey, what'd you do that for? And they're like, don't worry. And then
You're
chops the other one. Yeah. And so then, yeah, I could see that happening with them somehow. So yeah, chances of either of them winning?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think we would have to see their game blossom without the other. Like they would craft their winning story post the other one going home, I think.
Yeah.
So right now it's hard to visualize.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too. Rachel. What about Rachel? So she's the underdog. She's been on the outs with Gata. She's kind of a free agent. Is she going to exact her revenge and jump ship? I think that, if Andy decides to go against Gata, Rachel could be a person he drags into it, even if she doesn't want it. And she could kind of get stuck in the middle of some stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ever like stuck in the middle, or are you comfortably wanting to be in the middle? Yeah.
No, I think she could get dragged and get pulled into a war she doesn't necessarily want to be part of.
Drama. I see.
Yeah. So like Andy could be like, Rachel's on the bottom too, Saul. So it's me and Rachel. And Rachel's like, Andy, I didn't tell you that I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like, just leave me around out of it for whatever. So
that's a good point. Cause it's like, she's doing such a good job kind of staying under the radar and everything. And yeah, I feel like if Andy does do what he does then and brings her into the drama, it's going to kind of ruin her whole game. I think she's doing a good job. Just kind of, she reminds me of like a more low-key teeny where she is getting along with everybody, but also just going along with the votes, going along with this, and not trying to ruffle any feathers. So hopefully she doesn't get involved with any drama on accident, because I think if she just continues this, she can go pretty far. And I mean, she could pull out, like, she could become like Michelle and just win the entire thing on accident. And everyone's like, who are you? What?
Yeah.
Who? So.
Yeah, that's not a bad comparison. I could see her doing that, like kind of like just ducking and weaving, and that's her game. And then she's at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she can kind of have the narrative of like, I was on the bottom, I came to the merge sort of without any allies or anything, which sounds like you overcame a lot, but is also like one of the best positions to be in coming into the merge. So I think she has like a lot of options, probably more options than almost anybody as far as where her game goes.
Yeah.
I agree.
And she doesn't have to like make herself available. Like Andy, we see having to like announce to someone that he's done with his alliance, whereas Rachel is like, I'm on the bottom, come talk to me.
Yeah.
So which is like such a better place to be. So Gata, I think Rachel's got the best chance of, making a deep run, potentially winning. I think Sam or Sierra would have to cut one or the other and then be dominant near the end. And
what does Andy have to do to win?
Oh my God, dude. What does Andy have to do to win? He has to, like, he can be chaotic and messy and all of that, but at some point he has to rein it in and be like, I reined it in. I controlled that chaoticness that I wanted to happen. I didn't like go berserko near the end, and I got everything that I needed to done. Like, I think if he can like near the end, just like show some order and precision and growth. Yeah. Then I think he could have a shot. But I think his is definitely going to be an uphill battle within himself mostly.
I think because it would be tough to imagine him sitting with two other people at final three and just kind of having like a broad enough level of respect from the jury, basically. Like, I'm just thinking back to the George Costanza edit, where it's like, oh, he's like falling off of stuff. He's like, he should be doing the opposite. It's just like, I think there's going to be a perception that he kind of bumbled his way through the game. And I don't think you give $1 million to like a bumbler. You got to just have some level of like, this person did well.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I think like the new era, they would really appreciate like if he was able to grow and like reel it in as well. I feel like they would really like that as a storyline for him if he was able to actually do that and then be able to communicate it later on to the jury. I think that would be the only way for him to win if he was like, at the beginning I spiraled, I had a panic attack, I threw people under the bus that I wasn't supposed to, and then I started figuring out the game and I started growing with the game. I think that they would really appreciate that more than just being just decent at the game. But I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. I would also love it if, like I said before, if he just suddenly became the best gosh darn player that ever existed and was like, psych, I was kidding. I'm amazing. Like an anime character of some sort where he just like takes off the mask and he's like, I was just joking around, guys. Psychologically mess with you guys. I'm actually amazing at this. So
yes. It's like all a big illusion and is actually been intentional the entire time.
There's no way.
There's no way.
But
reverse psychology, guys.
I think if he wins some challenges.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. After seeing how he was with the
saw.
Yeah.
That's a GIF now on Twitter, so you can find that. That's fun.
I saw it. Oh goodness.
But yeah, I think he needs to win some challenges. If he can win some challenges and then be in the driver's seat because he has immunity, then I think that will help him in two ways. It will show that he's not just a bumbling idiot. He's been able to win some challenges, and he'll have enough liberty or protection to push his agenda and not get voted out for it.
Yeah, we need Andy in the driver's seat pushing his agenda. That'll just be great television.
So all he has to do is win a challenge then.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go to Tuku. The blue tribe. There are 5 left. Only TK gone from that tribe. They're feeling pretty good. We got Caroline, Gabe, Kyle, Sue, and Tiana. And
do you remember, by the way, that when they were voting out TK, I believe the main argument to keeping TK was we need tribe strength to win challenges.
Yeah.
Got rid of him anyways. Did not lose from then on.
Yeah. And he was pretty bossy at the challenges and camp and stuff. So like they weren't going to win with that.
Yeah.
You need people to step up on their own into the positions that they are good at or know that they are good at. So seemed to work out for him just fine. Let's go to Kyle and Sue. They've been at odds with each other. Are they going to be able to come together and be a Tuku strong, or are they going to be at each other? Like, I think in these positions where you have if I'm in Tuku and I'm a first time player, I'm looking at the other tribe numbers and I'm saying, okay, so Lavo's down to 3. We have 5. Gata's at 4. Let's get rid of a Gata and then let's start eating our own. Like, then we'll get rid of a Gata, then we can get rid of a Tuku. So if I'm Kyle or even Sue, I'm looking and saying, let's get rid of a Gata to be safe. And then I can wage war internally because I've had a problem with this person. But then that ends up being the downfall of the entire tribe.
Right.
So are Kyle and Sue going to be able to come together and be Tuku strong, or are they never going to be able to work?
I don't know. I feel like it's all up to Sue. I feel like Kyle's really open to working with her, and Sue just does not like him. And I'm just it's kind of sad to see because he tries, and then I don't know. I think she has this is going to sound like very like therapeutal, but I feel she has a lot of trauma with men, and so it's hard for her to connect with them even when they're being genuine with her. And I feel like that's going to be very detrimental to her game at the end of the day, because you kind of have to it's Survivor. You got to leave your trauma back on the mainland of wherever you're from, and just work with whoever is coming up to you, even if they put your name down that one time ages ago. You kind of have to forget about it and just start working with people. So it's all up to her at the end of the day. I hope she can get past it. She talks about how she's in a male dominant industry. So you literally have to do that in real life anyways, where you just kind of work with whoever. So she could do it. She's gotta dig deep and put on a smile like normal, and just so she can win. If she wants to win, girl, just work with him, dude.
Yeah. She's got the ick when it comes to Kyle, is I think what the kids are saying.
She does have the ick when it comes to Kyle, which sucks because I like Kyle. I think he's really
he's not icky. Nice you don't think he's icky?
I don't think he's icky at all.
What did he call himself in this last episode? He was like one of the most honest dumbasses out here or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I like that. I'm like, legit, man, I feel the same. And I'm not even playing the game. And I feel like,
but if I'm standing in that circle and he's like, I'm one of the most honest dumbasses out here, I'm like, oh, you don't think I'm honest? You're more honest than me.
That's Sue thinking that too. She's like, wait a second, hold on.
Yeah, I'm honest too, man. Yeah, I think they either need to work their differences out, or that could be, I mean, I don't know that they both have differences with each other, but if they can't come together for one reason or another, then it will be both of their downfalls as the blue starts to crumble.
Yeah.
Let's go to Gabe.
Well, we should mention about Sue too, that she has the idol.
That's right.
She's the only person currently with any kind of advantage in the game.
Yeah.
And nobody knows about it except for Caroline and Tiana.
Yes.
Because she bit her tongue on the machete lie. Did not work out.
Yeah.
That was a really funny lie too. Oh, I bit my tongue. That's why I just have
this like bright neon red blood.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl.
Yeah. So crazy. Are Tiana, Caroline, and Sue working together?
I think Caroline and Sue are more of a duo, and Tiana, I don't think that Tiana trusts Sue or that Sue trusts Tiana. I've not been able to really figure out why Caroline and Sue are so
tight.
Mother-daughter bond.
That mother-daughter bond. That's right. That's
maybe.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. They just, Caroline's just like, good job, Sue. You did a thing.
Who do you guys think is gonna betray who, or do you think they're gonna betray each other at the end of the day?
No, I don't think Caroline and Sue. Yeah, I don't think they can betray. I don't think Caroline can cut Sue. Maybe she can, but I think that one of them is going to be too attached to the other one. Maybe they're both going to be too attached to each other to make a move. That's it's a hard spot, because if you create a bond that's stronger than just like a working agreement, then people take it personal. So Sue cutting Caroline would probably take it personal and be like, I was like a daughter to you. And if, so I think they've intermingled, interphalangulated too tightly. Deep. Yeah. And so now it gets to the point where it's like, could I cut them? I don't know if I could. I don't think they'd cut me. I think we got to get to the end together. Will they get to the end?
I think it'll blow up at some point. The one way I could see them turning on each other is if somebody in a group is like, what if Sue's the dummy vote? And Caroline just goes along with it, and then it gets back to Sue or something. Sue's like one of those, the moment she hears her name, it's like, this person's dead.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think Sue is just too much of a like loose cannon, basically, to continue to go deep. Eventually, I think she's just going to blow up.
Mm.
Do you think if Caroline agreed to the dummy vote of Sue or something and it went back to Sue, that Sue would believe that Caroline had gone against her, or would she think that the person who told her was lying?
I'm like incapable of getting inside Sue's head. So maybe, I don't know. This is like a person that I don't know that I understand.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
I mean, those are the questions that I'm asking myself. So I'm like, I feel like Caroline and Sue are locked in so tight that even if it was true and someone was like, Caroline's willing to write your name down, Sue would be like, nah, not my girl. And then she'd go to Caroline and be like, they told me you were going to write my name down. And then Caroline would be like, what? No, that's absolutely not true. And then those two would try to target whoever had initially confronted both of them. And then that would be a war too. And then is how it would work out. If you're Caroline and Sue comes to you with that and you're like, oh, okay, this person's weaponizing like their conversations with me, I have to get rid of them.
Right.
So yeah. What about Gabe?
I think that Gabe has like a bit of a problem with the way that he views his tribe mates, where there was a quote from him on the preview where he's like, these people are just tools for me to use. And I know that he's had some similar things that he's said in past episodes, something about, like people basically being pawns and like he'll just do whatever. And I don't hate that attitude, but I think that it's in this era of Survivor, you need to be making like some genuine relationships, and eventually people will kind of see through that. And I don't know that he's going to have strong enough bonds to either win at the end if he gets there or to even get there.
I 100% agree, because I was thinking about, because I was trying to think about everybody before this, and I don't know what game Gabe is playing 100%. Like, he seems to be playing a different game than everyone else. And he seems to be like plotting and doing all this stuff, but it doesn't seem to be making any moves. And it's very interesting to see and listen to his confessionals where he's talking about, oh yeah, these people are tools. This is da-da, da-da. And I'm thinking, okay, but what's been happening? Like, it just feels like, sure, they're your tools to win, but have you actually been doing anything with this? Have you been talking to people about certain votes? Have you even, I don't even know what alliances he's a part of 100%. He seems to be cool with everybody, but I don't really know what the game is for him right now.
I think he's trying to play the sociopathic game where it's like, this is a game for money. I'm here to slit throats and get the job done. And I think that's prohibiting him from making tight enough bonds with people to like establish some trust and some like people willing to stick their necks out for you. And B, if you get to the end, jury votes. Like, you need to feel like Gabe was with me for a time, or Gabe had my back, or I really like Gabe, or whatever. And if that doesn't exist, then winning votes gets more and more difficult. He has Sue, but only because he keeps telling Sue he has Sue. It's not like they have a personal connection like Sue and Caroline do. And so Survivor is about that connection, having it be deep enough that there's loyalty, but not so deep that it's ride or die at all costs. Because that's like the balance is like the understanding that we're playing a game. We get along, we have fun, we enjoy each other, but we're still playing this game. Like that.
Gosh, it's like the opposite. So you have Gabe on one side and you have Sue and Caroline on the other side. Yeah. That's very interesting to see. Wow.
Yeah. Huh. So I think his relationships that he's built are too superficial to win him enough loyalty to protect him or to get those votes. So that's going to be, he needs to start connecting with people on a deeper level than just strategic.
And I would say that it's like, they're manufactured too. You know, when he came in and he was like, oh, I really wanted to play the game with an older woman. So this is great that I have Sue. And it's like, you should be, I think, more organic in your approach, like coming into the game and just playing with whoever you connect with, on a level that is not just based on age and gender and whatnot. And I think maybe comes with some assumptions from him about how an older woman might play or how he might be able to like kind of use a vote or whatnot. And so I think that that's something that could prove to be his downfall, is like you need to form these connections on a more fluid basis, and not like, well, like here's how each person slots into my strategy, before you even get out there on the beach. Like,
I
I
agree.
don't think that's a way to win.
Yeah. I also agree. I think it's great too. I think it was a good starting point for him to go in and be like, Sue,
Sure.
this is what I wanted, and take her and then see if it works, and then be like, never mind, it's not going to work, abandon that. But like the fact that he's just like dead set on that being his thing, and the reasons why, when it's like all he did was assume the what would you call it? Like it was just like the stereotypical reactions of an older woman is like, this is what they do, and now I'm going to lock in because they are even kill and they have and it's like, well, not everyone from everything reacts exactly.
Yeah.
So,
and Sue's kind of different. You know what I mean? She doesn't seem to be the normal, like, I don't know,
she's not like a Heather from like 41 or something, where it's like, okay, like, Heather formed a tight bond with Erica, and that was just kind of like ride or die to the end. I don't think that Sue's going to be that way. She's a much more active player.
Yeah, right. I agree.
Right. So I think, that's not going to work out. And we don't even know, who else does Gabe have? Like nobody really, nobody's locked in tight with him.
Tiana, a little bit. Like, now I wouldn't call it locked in tight.
Yeah.
But
let's talk about Tiana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are they kind of? Because Tiana seems like she's a little bit annoyed with most people to a certain degree. But she's not as tight with Sue or Carolyn. And she also knows about the red thing, the red dye idol, knows that she has something.
Yep.
Is that bad for her?
No. I think I like how Tiana does her game, because she ruffles a lot of feathers, but at the same time she's able, I think they're not showing how she is able to recover from that, because she ruffles feathers every other episode or someone mentions her name, but then she's staying and then she's never a part of the vote. And I almost feel like there's something that she's doing that is making people still want her around, or they're still getting along with her. And I really like that about her. But I do think it's really good that she knows about Sue's advantage, because I mean, she can play that up. She can use that to tell other people. She can tell, I don't know, Kyle about it. And maybe they could, I don't know. I don't really want them to trick Sue. I think I kind of like her. I like her. She's kooky in a weird way, where she's just very aggressive. And I like aggressive women, I guess.
Okay.
That's a weird thing to say, but I do. But I think her knowing about Sue's advantage is going to be really good towards whatever game she's playing, because she's talking to people in a way where they still want her around. They're not getting rid of her yet. And I feel like she'd be a very easy vote, because she's not 100% allianced with anyone right now. And so whatever she's doing, it's working. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's working.
Yeah. Riley?
I think that Sue's idol may become pretty widespread knowledge here fairly soon. We know 3 people know about it. I don't think 3 people keep their mouths shut very well on Survivor. Did she tell Gabe too? Maybe 4 people know about it.
Does Gabe know? I don't know.
I'm actually not sure. I may be misremembering, but
I'm not
at
sure
any rate,
actually.
Any number that's more than 1 makes me feel like that information will get out. And so then I don't think that the knowledge of the idol will be something that Sue's like, well, we got to get Tiana out so that she doesn't tell people about the idol. I'm like, I think that cat will just be out of the bag.
Especially with people prying, like that red stuff was all over. People are now investigating. If they weren't investigating, it might be different. But like the fact that people are like, what was that red thing? Who had the red thing? Did anybody have red on them? Like that's all just going to like eventually come out. And Sue is going to be like, I have something, but it's not an idol, or like do whatever she's going to do.
Yeah.
Or she'll just burn the idol at a tribal. That has kind of been a bit of a theme on this season, is people just throwing their advantages in the trash because they feel that they're not worth the target now. It must be driving Jeff insane. But, it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely could be. That could be. It wouldn't be a bad play for her to be like, hey, that red thing was me. I found an idol. I'm just playing it tonight. Let's get it out of the way.
Yeah.
And do that. Which honestly is probably the play at this point, with everyone investigating. Just be like, maybe try and win like the next challenge in the and if you don't, then burn it and then announce it to everybody. Don't announce it to everybody till it needs to be, but then I think you got to burn it. So Gata, who's the best place to win this thing? Andy, Rachel, Sam, Sierra.
I think Rachel, if she plays a really good free agent from the bottom game from here on.
That's fair. Yeah, I agree.
I also agree. I think Rachel is the best position to make a deep run, make it to the end, potentially win the game.
That was a bad sign that we all kind of paused there for a second, though.
I didn't pause. I knew. I knew, but I also knew the question.
I was like, I don't know.
I also knew the question I was going to ask, so maybe that was unfair.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask the same question about Lavo here. Okay. So we have Genevieve, we have Saul, and we have Teeny. Who is the best positioned to win this thing?
No pause for me. I think Genevieve.
Oh yeah, she's killing it. I like her. If she continues to do what she's doing and doesn't like slip up, just continue doing what you're doing. Be very strategic about everything you're doing and stay under the radar with it. Yeah. That was really cool what she's been doing with like Rome and everybody. It's really impressive. So continue doing that. You got it.
And I think that she can do both. Yeah. She can stay under the radar when she needs to, and she can also influence the game when she needs to do that too.
Exactly.
Yeah. She's masterminding without being like the mastermind. Like people aren't like, she's the driver. She's the one. She made the decision. She came up with the idea. She's not been getting the blame for any of the things she's done yet. And that's a great place to be. Like if she can continue that balance, perfect. I also would say Genevieve, as of right now, Saul and Teeny both have big upside, and that could easily change here on the Lavo group. But for right now, I think Genevieve is positioned the best.
I agree.
Tuku, Blue, Caroline, Gabe, Kyle, Sue, and Tiana. Who's got the clearest path to the end?
The clearest path. I mean, I still am rooting for Kyle. Like, I want him to win. I think just seems like a genuine guy no matter what happens. I don't know if a clear path for him. I don't know. As long as he can find a way to work with like Sue in a way and try to get her off his back, I think that would give him a clear shot to just kind of skating through everything. But he's got to get Sue to start working with him, because she is just going after him at any time.
Riley?
I don't know if I see any of them winning. I'm like, this is the hardest hardest one to pick.
Is very difficult.
It's a very hard pick.
It's the biggest group.
I think Tiana. I think Tiana is like distance enough from Blue, but still kind of working within him a little bit. Like she seems like the clearest choice to go a different direction if she has to, but also could still rein it in and work with them if she needs to as well. Yeah. And I think she has like the most free agency there to do what she wants. And so I feel like if she makes the right decision there when that time comes, then she'll be positioned well.
Yep.
So that's my only feeling. Otherwise, it's like Sue and Caroline, if they become a duo that can jump around together and, go back and forth a few times as they climb the ladder to the end, that could work, but it's still in my mind, if I'm looking at it, I think Tiana is honestly like, she's not gonna like offend anybody on blue by kind of jumping ship. So she's not creating huge enemies there on the jury or maybe even in the game. And so I think that like, yeah, I think for me, she's just like in this perfect balance of like with them, but not with them.
Yeah, I think Tiana as well. I feel like similar to Rachel, it's about kind of crafting her game post merge and almost like reinventing herself a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Anything else?
Don't think so.
Okay.
No. I think
Ashleigh, who's your winner pick out of this group? Because we didn't. We did winner picks. We did winner picks a couple days ago, Riley and I, but we haven't heard your winner pick.
My winner pick, man. Oh, that's so hard. I would say I'm gonna say Teeny. I'm gonna say Teeny.
Okay.
Teeny is everyone likes Teeny. Teeny's got that vibe.
So what's Teeny got to do to win this?
Teeny's got to just continue to ride the group vote for a bit, not ruffle any feathers, stay a little bit under the radar, but make sure you continue to stay like connected to people. Make sure that they know that they can trust them. You know what I mean? But I don't know exactly because this is hard. Everyone has been like surprising me with what they've been up to in terms of strategy. So, and Teeny, they've been a little bit too complicit with the vote.
Yeah.
Like almost too. No, there's been no like stepping out to be like, hey, you know, and I wonder.
Direction.
Yeah. And I'm worried about that a little bit because I feel like when you're too complicit with the vote, then people start noticing and being like, about that person, I'll trust them, you know? So, a little worried, but I would love if Teeny would win. So this is more of a favorite vote more than a strategy vote.
Okay. It's who you want to win based on how much you like them on this season. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's part of winning Survivor is being likable. The jury has to like you. So
see, Tyson like you. Everyone likes you.
Correct. That's correct. And this whole podcast was just to actually get to that moment where you finally said that out loud. So, okay. That is the Merge Extravaganza. Let us know, chime in the comments on YouTube with your thoughts on each player. Who's your winner pick and why? Who has the hardest road ahead of them? And what your favorite has to do to win this thing. Because right now, there are a lot of people that could still win this thing. And is there anyone, before we leave, Riley, that can't? Is there somebody on this cast right now at this merge that you're looking at that's like almost impossible?
Yeah, I think it's probably Andy. I just unless the mastermind theory is true, and I just don't think it is, then I cannot see him winning.
Yeah. It's remember when Lauren was on our podcast last season and she said that if Banu like was the mastermind and pulled it all together, he could win. I was like, I think he's done too much damage to possibly win. Yeah. And I think Andy is the same. I think there's no way we would see we did see him play Rachel and Annika, but like he didn't have to. And so it's like he did too much, but also felt like the mastermind. But if he wouldn't have done anything, it would have gone the same way. And I think that, I think he has the biggest uphill battle to actually win this thing. Yeah. So good luck, Andy. We at least want to see your antics for a while here, and maybe you pull it together. And it's not too late, but like you got to change course.
Yes, please.
So, thank you all for tuning in. We will be back regular time next week to break down each and every episode of Survivor. You can watch us on YouTube. Ashleigh, what's the YouTube channel?
Ringer Reality.
Ringer Reality. Yeah, Ringer Reality TV. We cover There's the challenge coverage on there. There's Survivor coverage. There's Bachelor coverage, and even other reality TV shows are covered there.
Yes.
You can check us out on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And until next week, everyone, see ya.